The car is all packed. Yeah, it looks like it's full, but believe it or not, there's room for you. Let's head west on Route 66. We are going to... Where are we going today? I don't know. Let's find out. Good morning from Hotel El Rancho in Gallup, New Mexico. Beautiful sunrise, the birds are chirping, trains are going by. It's time to hit the mother road. Route 66 awaits. I was parked right over there last night and I noticed a couple birds hit the car, so I cleaned it up and moved it back, knowing that in the morning, sure enough, they'd be pretty active, and yes, you can hear. The birds are in the trees, but the car's clean. This was a wonderful stop. This is the home of the movie stars from the golden era. I mean, all the big names are on the doors as you walk down the hallways. Quite a place to be in, walk through, experience. This was a great stop. And like all of the other hotels and motels along Route 66 that are still operating, they have their own personalities, their own charm. And so it's great to experience each one along the way. This one, yeah, put it on your list if you're heading toward Gallup, New Mexico. I have managed to drive the entire route so far from Chicago to Gallup, New Mexico with the top down. That's a pretty good trick, especially since I had a couple of, moist days. But we got through those. Two places where I stopped and just kind of let the weather pass. So yeah, I think from here on out, it's going to be really good. The forecast is nice, and as you can see, there's nothing but blue sky today. Now I'm out here mostly in April because the temperatures are very moderate and the desert has yet to really heat up. There was a stretch right before I left where even Los Angeles was 100 degrees, and that passed, and it's been 70s and 80s. Really pleasant, especially the second half of this trip. Now, there's a little bit of chill in the air this morning, 46 degrees starting out, but the car has a heater. I turned the heat on, and with the windows up, they're not up right now because I'm going slow, but with the windows up and the heat on, it's very comfortable. Very nice. Enjoying this. Wow, check out some of these really old hotels here. You can tell we're heading due west. My shadow is directly in front. I only have maybe 10 miles to go, well, maybe a little farther, to get to the Arizona state line. The app that I'm using doesn't list any more attractions or points of interest beyond Gallup, so I'm not quite sure what we'll see between here and the state line, but hey, I'm sure there's something. It's Route 66. There's always something, even when you're in the middle of nowhere. see, there was no sign that indicated we had crossed the state line into Arizona, but yeah, we're in Arizona now, and you could tell by passing the trading post and that tiny mile zero marker. But I've kind of rolled into the rest area from the highway. I missed my turn. So fortunately, there's another exit real short way down. I'm going to take that, backtrack, and then we'll continue on Route 66. In the meantime, I'm having my breakfast. Yeah, the rest of my sandwich from yesterday and a few of those Ronald Reagan jelly beans.
Chief Yellow Horse Trading Post was established about 1954. It had a line painted on the floor representing the state line, although the actual line was many yards away on the other side of Teepee Trading Post. Tourist-oriented Native American souvenirs flourished in this otherwise barren and water-deprived landscape. Teepee seems to be the only active one remaining on the state line in Lupton, Arizona. Like many areas along the Mother Road, this is now mostly a reminder of the past, which, during the next couple days' travel, the past will be on full display, not only during our lifetimes, but for this area's distant history. Route 66 in eastern Arizona is rough, hilly, dusty, a real western trail cutting through harsh but beautiful landscapes dotted with tiny, gritty survival towns and outposts. Built in the late 1960s to capitalize on the popular TV show F Troop, Fort Courage has now been leveled except for its tower and sign.
It is so good to have a lifetime pass. Well, since Route 66 used to pass through what is now Petrified National Forest, we get to ride through Petrified National Forest. And wow, look at this. I have it all to myself. Wow. Yeah, it's still kind of early in the morning. I forgot I gained another hour when I crossed into Arizona. So now I'm 3 hours ahead, which is great. Their visitor's guide says, well, if you have 1 or 2 hours Decide which side of the park interests you the most. I don't know. I like it all. They suggest the north end with overlooks of the Painted Desert. Walk the Painted Desert Rim Trail and visit the Painted Desert Inn. Well, yeah, that's probably a good idea. And the south end, Rainbow Forest Museum, walk giant logs and crystal forest trails, and drive the Blue Mesa Road. Hey, sounds like a great suggestion to me. Let's check it out. Just a small portion of the Painted Desert. Wow, this is magnificent.
On this clear, very windy day, I'm taking a short break at the old Painted Desert Inn, now a visitor center and museum. Lots of old highway memorabilia, souvenirs, and petrified forest items. Of course, history and learning centers. Great views out the window. I overheard petrified wood can be found in every U.S. state. I didn't know that. A great, hard fact.
Very nice visitor center. Really informative, as you would expect. Oh, and before we go any further, today's soda from Pops in Arcadia, Oklahoma is Sourpuss Soda. Pucker up. That's what it says. It will puck you up. Well, I'm a big fan of sweet tarts, so I'm thinking maybe it's like sweet tarts in a soda? I don't know. I'll let you know. You know, the other weird ones that I've had were actually pretty good, so looking forward to it. It's almost like wine tasting, you know, you sniff it first. It smells pretty good. Here we go. It kind of tastes like Fresca. One of those old lemon lime kind of drinks. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, let's continue.
It is so windy, I'm going to have to voice over this.
So about 205 to 285 million years ago,
These deposits were set down in this area, and they remained buried for about 180 million years. But then, things started to erode, and that's when this landscape began to reveal itself.
It only took another maybe 20 million years for us to be able to see this.
From the visitor center, it's probably a good 20-25 miles before we see some really good petrified wood up close. Most of it in this area, in the upper portion of the park, is still buried underneath the ground. The open landscape has nothing to block the relentless wind. It's a constant today. This is the only national park bisected by Route 66. Averaging about 5,400 feet or 1,600 meters in elevation, the park has a dry, windy climate with temperatures that vary from summer highs of about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius, to winter lows well below freezing. More than 400 species of plants, dominated by grasses, are found in the park.
Well, there's Interstate 40, not too far in the distance. And this line of telephone poles, just seemingly in the middle of nowhere, could be tracing the line of old Route 66. That'd be about right.
Fauna include larger animals such as pronghorns, coyotes, and bobcats, many smaller animals such as deer mice, snakes, lizards, and 7 kinds of amphibians, and more than 200 species of birds, some of which are permanent residents, many of which are migratory. About 1/3 of the massive park is designated wilderness.
Yes, indeed, these telephone poles do mark the old route of where it came through in Petrified National Forest. The roadway has long since been cleared, and the land has reclaimed it in this area. Well, you can still see the 2 road beds, eastbound and westbound lanes, in those mounds. How many people do you suppose once traveled through here? Well, perhaps as many as on the interstate next door. Check out this little slice of desert bloom.
The old highway crossed this national park from 1926 until 1958. Who knows? This old display car may have once rolled across this land in the Painted Desert. As we make our way toward Holbrook, let's see some petrified wood along the way. The Petrified Forest is known for its fossils, especially fallen trees that lived in the late Triassic epoch, about 225 million years ago. The sediments containing the fossil logs are part of the widespread and colorful Chinle Formation, from which the Painted Desert gets its name.
Of course, you know, I would have to come see something that's named Newspaper Rock.
Well, of course, they're petroglyphs. You might say these are ultra-ancient newspapers. We don't know exactly what they were trying to say, but the messages have lasted hundreds and thousands of years. Look, even the edge of the rock is carved. No margins on these pages.
Apparently, it only takes one car to attract a crowd. Well, that was pretty cool. More than 650 petroglyphs in one place, made by ancient Pueblans 650 to 2,000 years ago as they hunted and fished in this area. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Beginning about 60 million years ago, the Colorado Plateau, of which the park is part, was pushed upward by tectonic forces and exposed to increase erosion. The park's rock layers, except geologically recent ones found in some areas, have been removed by wind and water. I still have not seen any petrified wood. I'm sure we're saving the best for last as the desolate miles continue. Up ahead is the Agate Bridge, a long stone crossing a small chasm. In addition to petrified logs and these many viewing areas, fossils found in the park have included late Triassic ferns and many other plants as well as fauna, including giant reptiles, large amphibians, and early dinosaurs. Paleontologists have been unearthing and studying the park's fossils since the early 20th century. I now feel like I've been driving through this park since last century, although it's only been a couple of hours. Now crossing an area that once flowed with water and was forested with large trees. A little difficult to imagine now, but I'm almost to the first location of very hard tree remnants. The detail and the coloring in this wood makes it look like it's ready for a campfire, but yeah, good luck getting it started. So who cut the wood? Well, of course no one. Settling of a heavy quartz log causes cracks and eventually breaks. Because it's the shortest distance for the crack to grow, the logs break perpendicular to their length, kind of like a piece of brittle chalk. The repeating perpendicular breaks make the logs appear they were sawed or cut. If it were only that easy for real wood, although I wouldn't want to wait that long.
So the short story is, about 218 million years ago during the Triassic period, this spot was on the edge of a river channel. The trees fell and crisscrossed the channel. Through time, silica and groundwater percolated through the logs, and they replaced the organic molecules in the wood with a replica in quartz, and then erosion brought these quartz logs back to the surface. Pretty cool.
The different colors in wood mean one thing: contamination. Pure quartz is white. Mineral impurities within the quartz taint it to give the wood its various colors. Iron oxides show up as red, yellow, orange, and purple. Manganese oxides are black and gray. Mix them through the veins of quartz, and a kaleidoscope of unique patterns emerge. Can an old rock-hard piece of wood sprout new growth after millions of years? Apparently, yes. There is one more location with some very large trees almost still intact. Up ahead is the Rainbow Forest. If you've had enough of this looking at old trees, hey, feel free to skip to the next chapter. The rest of us will catch up shortly. Petrified National Forest was established in 1906 during the Theodore Roosevelt administration and designated as a national park in 1962.
These are the really big logs at Rainbow Forest.
The story of this wood isn't much different from the rest of the park. It's the location that has affected the colors in different ways and varied forces that have kept many of these giant trees relatively intact. They are at the south edge of the park, meaning we'll be heading out and north to Holbrook soon. You might think the relentless wind would topple some of these rocks. Perhaps one day. A rough road sign. Well, it doesn't seem as rough as when first entering the state this morning. If you've been following this video series, thank you. And you know, it only takes a short time to drive a long distance on the Mother Road. Follow the drive from Gallup, New Mexico to Winslow, Arizona in just about 9 minutes on GPS 2. The link is in this video's description. Holbrook is known historically for its Wild West past as a rough frontier town and railroad stop. Founded in 1881, it would later become part of Route 66, known for its 90-degree turn at the intersection of Navajo Boulevard and Hopi Drive, rock traders, and home to an iconic Wigwam Village motel. Its dinosaur past is seen along the road with huge painted figures watching the traffic. Several locations remain from the highway's heydays. Holbrook sits at 5,080 feet elevation with about 4,850 residents. The Powwow Trading Post opened in 1946. It had a motel that closed and was folded into the store. Joe and Aggie Montano relocated their Holbrook Cafe to this location in 1965. This Roxy Theater opened in 1954, replacing a 1930s location elsewhere in town. It seats 327, closed in 1994 before being renovated, and reopened in 2003. In 1933, the original Wigwam Village Motel was built in Horse Cave, Kentucky. Charles E. Lewis bought copies of the patented plans, worked out a royalty agreement, and opened the Holbrook version in 1950. At one time, there were 7 such locations, with the last one built in 1950 in San Bernardino, California. That and Holbrook are 2 of the 3 that remain today. The original in Kentucky is gone, but it was rebuilt on the same site and is open. Each teepee is a small, individual room. I'm not staying at this one, but spoiler alert, the one in California is also on the Mother Road. This renovated motel opened in 1955 as a Whiting Brothers Deluxe Motel, the first expansion of the Whiting Brothers Oil Company that was big in the U.S. Southwest. Not far off the old highway are 2 locations, each with a long history. '86 was a notable year for cowboys that rode with the Hash Knife outfit and the Bucket of Blood Saloon. According to local legend, there were 26 shooting deaths in Holbrook that year, and cowboys from the Hash Knife outfit were involved in most of the gunfights. The Bucket of Blood Saloon was the scene of a brutal gunfight between members of the Hash Knife outfit and a group of cowboys who accused them of stealing cattle. The Bucket of Blood had a reputation for violence. A painting from the saloon hangs in the local museum bearing 2 bullet holes from target competition between 2 betting cowboys. As you can see now, the walls are being propped up and there's a local push to help save the landmark. The Arizona Rancho is also known as the Higgins House, Brunswick Hotel, and Arizona Hotel. It's a former hotel in Holbrook. An ad for the hotel appears in the 1914 Arizona Good Roads Travel Guide. Originally, it was built between 1881 and 1883 as a residence, and then it expanded as a boarding house, a hotel, and finally a motel. The original structure is thought to be the oldest extant structure in Holbrook. Holbrook is one of the Route 66 towns with a drive-through shield. Yeah, let's do it. Leaving Holbrook to the west is the Rancho Trading Post, with allegedly the world's largest petrified log on display. Joseph City was a Mormon encampment from 1876. It was renamed St. Joseph 2 years later, and then to Joseph City in 1923 to avoid mail confusion with St. Joseph's, Missouri. Joseph City is the oldest surviving Mormon settlement of 4 along the Little Colorado River. Settlers struggled for decades to tame the unpredictable river with dozens of dams until a durable one was built in 1923. About 2,100 residents live in Joseph City. For travelers who have seen signs for hundreds of miles, they are finally here, at the home of the Jackrabbit Trading Post since 1949. The classic sign adapted for the movie Cars. You know, like a lot of other roadside attractions around the country, you think of Wall Drug Store or south of the border. This one has signs hundreds of miles away before you ever get close to it. So you're dying to see what it looks like when you get there. Well, I had to park alongside the others. That's actually my cousin. I had a VW Rabbit just like that, yellow. It was a diesel. Great car. The Jackrabbit awaits, a little wobbly. Well, you do have some help to climb up. This isn't the most steadiest rabbit in the world. I just hope I don't break something getting off of it. But here I am. Here it is. Well, there, made it down without any incident. That would have been content. With the sticker on the door, we have to see what's inside. What can you say? It's all things rabbits. A convenience store, a gift shop. Of course, I bought a couple of things there.
Live from the Jackrabbit Trading Post, I'm going to try some orange cream as we head on to Winslow. Next stop.
My final stop for the day isn't far. It's Winslow. After a long day, such a fine sight to see. If you drive exactly 35 miles per hour into town, your tires may sing a familiar tune. Maybe not so recognizable. It was a good try.
As you enter Winslow, Arizona, heading west, you see these two rusted steel girders from the World Trade Center towers in New York. One's 14 feet high, the other's 15. They stick up from a concrete base accompanied by a plaque that reads, "These two steel beams from the World Trade Center, entrusted to the citizens of Winslow by the City of New York, along with a flag that was flown at the Pentagon, stand as the centerpiece of our Remembrance Garden. The words 'United we stand' remind the world that we will not fear terrorism. We hereby dedicate this garden to Northern Arizona's promise that we will never forget." And none of us will ever forget. You know, this is the 250th anniversary of the United States, 100th birthday of the Mother Road, Route 66. It's also the 25th anniversary of 9/11. It's having a little tough time with this wind. Very strong today. But that flag has endured a lot. Pretty symbolic.
Jim, George, and Pete Kretzadamus were Greek immigrants who opened the Falcon restaurant in 1955 and went on to manage it for 43 years. Earl's began as the Marble Hotel in 1952. It has distinctive motel lettering on its roof and is my planned overnight stop in Winslow. We'll be back. Seems I have a flyover welcome from a bird who appears interested in my convertible top being down. It's potentially a messy welcome if I don't keep moving. One of the most photographed locations on all of Route 66. We'll return. I'm checking in at Earl's. Other than this friendly Fido greeting, the place seems deserted. The Earls bought the motel in 1974, which is how it got its present name. Angela Archibek and Blas Sanchez took over in 2018 with the aim of providing an authentic Route 66 experience mixed with modern amenities. It seems to have stalled, and I don't have a good feeling about this place. I was told on the phone I could just show up, and I see why. So it's on to Plan B, which now I have to make up a Plan B. Well, Earl's Court was a bit of a bust. I had called yesterday and the lady said that, all I had to do was show up at about 3 or 4, which I did, and nobody was there. And to be honest, it didn't look like anybody was staying there either. So currently I'm without a room and I need to get a hotel, which looks like I should be able to. But in the meantime, I'm just taking it easy and happen to be standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. I don't have to explain. The town was mentioned in the opening of that iconic Eagles song, and Winslow has made the most of it. Standing on the Corner Park opened in 1999, 27 years after Take It Easy hit number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Add another 27 years to reach the Motherroad Centennial, and you can see why it's still number 1 here. Well, there's the flatbed Ford and a bunch of stickers. I think maybe I should grab a sticker. Yeah, gotta leave one on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. There we are, we're on the truck. While co-writer Glenn Fry is clearly identified, the other figure is not. Could it be Eagles co-founder Don Henley? Or is it really Jackson Brown, who is the other co-writer of the song? I guess that's up to you. Perhaps the girl in the flatbed Ford took a close enough look to know. So, tell me, are you actual size? Literally, all these people showed up in the last minute or two. It was weird. It was completely empty and then filled with tourists. Now, mind you, I will go do the touristy thing, but not with a bunch of tourists. I'll let them all have their time and clear out. By the way, had I ridden the train to California and biked Route 66, right over there, I would have ridden the rails on those very tracks. There used to be a JCPenney store right here in this lot. It became known as the Rasco Building. Well, fire burned it down, but this one wall survived. The city decided, you know what, we can make good use of this wall. So on the other side, yeah, it became standing on the corner. Okay, now that everybody's cleared out, I'll stand here. You know, it makes you wonder if any of the eagles have actually come here. Well, there is an eagle up there. Look, I've got a couple ideas for songs. What do you think about this one? Oh, When Hell Freezes Over? Alright. Yes, this goes on all day, every day. But it's cool. After living life in the fast lane all day, I have a peaceful, easy feeling that one of these nights this desperado will take it to the limit in finding a room. It may not be Hotel California, but perhaps it will lead to a tequila sunrise tomorrow. I'll check out the famous La Posada. La Posada is a former Harvey House property, which is why it sits next to the railroad. This masterpiece was created in 1928 by top-tier architect Mary Coulter, regarded today as having been far ahead of her time. Larger than Hearst Castle in California, the Spanish hacienda style was restored in the late 1990s with a modest number of guest rooms. It can be a tough one to get into. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? This town may be known for standing on the corner and take it easy, but I think this almost beats Hotel California. We'll call it Hotel Arizona. Check out the gardens. Yeah. We're taking a chance here. We're gonna see if maybe there's room. I doubt it. It was sold out online, but maybe there's a last minute cancellation. Who knows? Well, it was worth a shot. They didn't have a cancellation at the moment, and it's getting a little late in the day, so I think they are completely full. But what a place. Next time, right? And again, had I ridden the train, I would have come right to this very location. This also doubles as the train station. How about that? It's a very docile pigeon. Check this out. This courtyard. And yes, it's a little breezy, but the weather is perfect.
And in the courtyard, it really isn't that windy at all. This is still part of the hotel. It's huge. The only thing I wonder about this place is, how is the train noise? Because there's a freight train over there that is a little loud. And of course Amtrak comes through a couple times. I guess it depends on which side of the hotel your room is on. That's a little after 4 in the afternoon, which for me, now that I've gained an hour, feels like 7 in the evening. I think I'm ready to find a room at a quality chain hotel for the night, and then we will continue.
So that's all for today's journey. Your reservation is confirmed as we continue next time on Route 66 across Arizona. Thanks for watching, and safe travels.